But we do start with Manchester City, who've got plenty to do if they want to stay in the Champions League. They need to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu tomorrow to have any hope of staying in the competition. Pep Guardiola's side trail 3-2 going into the playoff second leg. Ben Ransom is in Madrid and he's watching Carlo Ancelotti's side train this morning.
You join us for the last part of a Real Madrid training here in the Spanish sunshine. And if we look away to our left now, we can see that the players are out there on the training pitch. We can't get too close, as is often the case, but we have been able to pick out the likes of Jude Bellingham. And I suppose from a selection point of view, the fact that Antonio Rudiger is out there with his teammates is a real boost for Real Madrid. Remember, he missed that first leg. Real Madrid were very much with a makeshift defence in that game against Manchester City, that they came away with that 3-2 win that sets them up very nicely for the second leg here in Madrid tomorrow night. And the goal scorer of their third goal, who scored the winner, Jude Bellingham, making it 3-2. He is, of course, out there. That's despite all the furore around him here in Spain this week. Remember, he was sent off at the weekend for using foul and abusive language during Real Madrid's draw with Osasuna. And he's facing up to, would you believe, a 12-match ban for that. The punishment will be at least 4 games, assuming that the ban is enforced due to the red card, because under their Spanish FA's disciplinary code, that's the punishment for using foul and abusive language and being sent off. Bellingham himself, for his part, he's come out on social media. He claims it was a misunderstanding. But what it's led to is it's just increased this war of words between Real Madrid and the Spanish federations, particularly over refereeing, because you might remember they wrote an open letter to the Spanish Football Federation last month in regard to serious refereeing behaviour, as they call it, and it accused the authorities of reaching decisions that surmounted to a level of manipulation and adulteration of the competition they say that they could no longer ignore. So really strong words, and all that came off the back of another incident a few weeks ago. That followed a 1-0 loss to Espanyol when defender Carlos Romero scored a late winner for Espanyol. Real Madrid, they felt he should have been sent off earlier in the match for a nasty challenge on Kylian Mbappe. Real Madrid haven't won in La Liga since. We're being told we have to leave Real Madrid training now, so we'll leave you with these pictures. But as you can see out there, Jude Bellingham is amongst with his teammates, and the headline news is that Antonio Rudiger is there.
Well, the former Real Madrid manager Rafael Benitez was at the Etihad for the first leg and was impressed with what he saw from his former club.
The strength of Real Madrid is the attack. So they have pace, power, quality, ability, and that was the best thing that Real Madrid had. And because Manchester City was offensive and so offensive, at the end of the day, Real Madrid was comfortable playing counter-attack. And when they were avoiding the first man pressing, they could run and they could go behind defenders. And they are faster, they are stronger. That's it.
So Jude Bellingham scored the winner as Real Madrid won the first leg 3-2 at the Etihad. We asked Benitez if he thinks Bellingham could end up being one of the greatest Real Madrid players ever.
We are talking about to be better than Di Stefano, to be better than Raúl, or to be better than Butragueño. So you have to be really consistent, no, to be better than them. So he has the potential, yes. Can he do it for a few years? It depends on how mature he is and then the people around him.
Well, Sam is back with us to talk about this tie between Real Madrid and Manchester City, and we're going to start with an impressive start from Nico Gonzalez as a City player.
Yeah, absolutely. Pep Guardiola called him the mini Rodri after that 4-0 win over Newcastle, and from the numbers and from the eye test as well, it looked like a very Rodri-style performance. Completed more passes than anyone on the pitch, with the best, second best passing accuracy as well. But it wasn't just the passes he made; it's where he made them in the final third. How many times have we seen Rodri break the line, move the ball from side to side really well? That was what Nico Gonzalez did really well against Newcastle. Obviously, really good off the ball as well, with doing really well in tackles and duels. So he's got that Rodri ability to break up the play. And if we can see from the pass map between them, they've actually, played in the very similar position. This is Rodri's sort of passes received last season, where City players like to find him. And this was where Nico Gonzalez played against Newcastle. It was very much the Rodri role from Nico. So, yeah, it does seem like Man City are slowly working towards fixing this issue, which is Rodri being out for this season, being able to control games better. And it looks like they addressed that in the January transfer window with Nico.
What about the battle, then, of the big names tomorrow? Erling Haaland against Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, these two have been sort of paired together since they were teenagers almost. You know, Haaland and Mbappe, the two best strikers in the world. It was also quite telling that these two also opened the scoring for their respective clubs in the first leg. Now, in terms of who's having the better season in the Champions League, well, Haaland's doing much better, twice as good on the goal front. He's also more sort of clinical than Mbappe this season in terms of XG. Mbappe should really have 2 more goals on the basis of that XG underperformance, we should say. Erling Haaland's shooting accuracy is better, but also the conversion rate is twice as good as Mbappe at the moment. It's probably a good sign, though, for Man City that Haaland is sort of faring better in this Champions League because, of course, City need the goals. And if Haaland produces tonight, you could back them definitely taking that game to extra time, possibly even going through as well in the 90 minutes.
City need the goals, and Omar Marmoush might be able to help them with that after a hat-trick against Newcastle at the weekend. Do you expect him to start in the second leg?
Yeah, I think he has to, doesn't he? I mean, it was very effective play. You know, here are the goals here, and you know that long pass from Edison. How many times we've seen Haaland do this? So City have another option up there. And it was interesting hearing Ben Ransom speak earlier about Real Madrid's makeshift backline that they've had. They've had to play Aurelien Tchouameni in centre-back, and Rudiger's only just coming back after a bit of time off. So is this an area for City to exploit? Look, Marmoush showed his quality here. All 3 goals came in different areas of the pitch. 1 straight down the middle, 1 from the left, 1 from the right. So, yeah, I'd expect him to start tonight, and he'll be really crucial in terms of City trying to turn this tie around.
On that one that came straight down the middle, it was an assist from Edison, who's got the most Premier League assists of all time for a goalkeeper. I guess we saw the good and the bad of him last week, that ability with the ball at his feet, but costly mistake in the game against Real.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, football's, a really strange sport, isn't it? It was only 2 weeks ago we were talking about Edison's, long balls against Chelsea. He had 2 or 3 of those goals came from those long balls. And, as we can see, that Edison has the most assists by a goalkeeper in Premier League history. Incredibly, 3 have come this season. And actually, when you look at him compared to all Premier League players this season, it's a really, really impressive sort of list of players he's competing with. He's got the same number of assists as Martin Ødegaard this season, Arsenal captain, Timo Werner, a front 3 player for Spurs, Martinelli, Szoboszlai, Cody Gakpo, and Mbeumo. Same number of assists as Haaland as well. He's also got more than Phil Foden, Darwin Núñez this season. It's a real great weapon for City. Again, it might be useful tonight. You never know. Santiago Bernabéu is a very intimidating place. City may not be able to pass out the back against Real Madrid's front 4 as often. So that direct option is really, really key, and it's been really, really successful this season.
It has felt interesting rather, that you speak to ex-players over the last couple of days. Not many seem to give City a chance of getting through this tie. What would the numbers and the stats, the predictors say about that?
Well, not just that. Pep Guardiola said they have a 1% chance of going through against Real Madrid. Well, it's not quite 1% for Man City, according to our good friend the Opta supercomputer, but 21% chance compared to 78% for Real Madrid progressing. Where Man City are at 1%, however, is their likelihood of winning the entire competition this season. That's the result of them losing that first leg. Now, if they win, I'd imagine that percentage goes a lot higher. If they can not only progress as well into the last 16, but also take out one of the most dominant teams in Europe in this competition over the past few years.
Who are the supercomputer saying's favourites?
Liverpool and Arsenal.
Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah.
OK, Sam, thank you very much indeed.